Hi, Dr. Wu here, and there are some exercises in the Taoist work, in Dr. Wu's work, of building your sexual energy. Some of the things that are very important, these exercises go back thousands of years, and what they do is, I'm going to show you the female one first with my model here. She's been practicing these for a while, and I'm going to talk her through it. And what it does is it strengthens the breast tissue. If there's any cysts or any blockages or any lumps or bumps, this will get rid of it. And at the same time, what it does, it strengthens from the ovaries all the way up to the breast. It sort of makes a V. The line goes just like that. It's called the deer exercise. This is the female deer exercise, and it's very easy to do. Use the number 36. That's a very feminine number. 81 is the male number, yang. 36 is the female number. So she's going to practice this 36 times, and here's how it's done. Okay, I'm going to talk you through it. First of all, you rub your hands together. You're going to build up some heat. So when you're doing that, you build the heat in your hands. You start to increase the qi, both in your fingers, the lo gong point, and you'll start to feel the energy in your hands. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your heels and just put it right up against your crotch. So it wants to be right on the clitoris. If you can't reach, what you're going to do is take a tennis ball or a baseball, a hard ball, and you're going to put it there, and then that'll push it. That causes some pressure. Okay, so you get in the hands. Now place your hands on your breast, and you're going to inhale first, hold the breath, and 36 times. And exhale. Now switch feet. So you take the other foot, put that up against the clitoris, so you want some pressure against there, and rub your hands again. There's a secret in doing this. You want to pull up on the energy, so it's called Mulban or root lock. So what you're going to do, a Kegel exercise. You pull down on the clitoris, you fold in the lips, pull everything back, tighten the anal sphincter muscle. Now, the hands go back on the breast. Inhale, the opposite direction. And exhale. Just relax. Okay, so let me tell you what this exercise does. First of all, it works all around the breast tissue, and it also works with the sexual energy. So you start to build up qi inside the body. When you're pulling down on the root lock, you're pulling down on the clitoris, folding in the lips, tucking everything back, and tightening the anal sphincter muscle. What that does, that strengthens the whole lower diaphragm. So you don't get prolapsed uterus, so you don't have incontinent problems. You're able to pull all that up. When you're doing the act of sex with your mate, what you want to do is, before you go into that and making love and all the romantic stuff, you start practicing this for at least 2 weeks before, and what it'll do, it'll strengthen everything. So when you have strength, you have more power, and your lovemaking is going to be greatly enhanced. It's Dr. Wu. Keep on practicing. When we're talking about the Taoist secrets of love, or Dr. Wu's secrets of love, it involves a lot of things. It involves our meditation practices, because we're using the different chakras. The crown chakra, third eye point, throat chakra, heart, at the solar plexus, at the navel point, and right at the pubic bone. From there, we're using the perineum right at the bottom. It's that point right at the very bottom. So if we took a post and shoved it through the top of the head, it would come out so you'd be on a barbecue. It's the perineum. Then the points go from there right opposite the sexual center, right opposite the navel, the solar plexus, the heart center. At the throat center, it would be C7. And at the third eye, it would be the jade pillow. these chakras are spinning circles of energy. So they're spinning like this. And as they spin, they send out an auric field or colors, because if you have a rod, positive head, negative the feet, and there's energy spinning around it, it sends out a vibration. Some people will see it as colors, auras, stuff like that. So you may wonder, what does that have to do with your sexual? When we're involved in the act of sex, not screwing, but making love and moving the energy, because it could be a spiritual practice. If the energy goes down and comes out, you're going to create a baby. If the energy goes up, you create a spiritual child. So what you're looking at is, how are you going to increase the amount of love that you make? How can you make love without having your energy go down? How can you make love and open the spiritual centers? How can you make love and keep yourself younger? Some of the exercises we do are the male and the female deer. Now the deer, the reason that they say the deer exercise is the deer, he's always wagging his tail. And when he's wagging his tail, what he does is he creates and secretes enzymes, and they go up and they make the horns. Hence the saying, horning. In Chinese medicine, sometimes they slice those little pieces of horn, and they use that horn in different concoctions to put more heat in your body. Heat is energy. Now, don't put in too much heat in your body or you burn up all the water. So it's always a balance of yin and yang. So I want to show you the deer exercise. So what you want to do is clap your hands and rub them together. When you're rubbing your hands together, you're creating energy, qi, and you're creating it both in the Lo Gong point, right here, in the center of the palm, and in the fingertips. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand and cup your scrotum very gently. Sitting on a chair, your feet will be flat. You can either do it in a pair of blue shorts or naked. You want to rub your hands to keep them warm too. Now you cup the scrotum. You take a breath in, you inhale, and you're going to do an exercise called Molban or root lock. So what you're doing for the guys, you retract the penis, like if you're going to go to the bathroom, you want to stop it, you squeeze that, you retract the penis, you lift the scrotum up, and you tighten the anal sphincter muscles. Okay, so let's start. Rub the hands together. Get that heat going. Now, cup the scrotum, inhale, pull a penis in, the scrotum up, tighten the anal sphincter muscles. Now you take a deep breath and inhale, and you're going to hold the breath, and you're going to make circles 81 times. And exhale. Let go of the sex lax. Okay. Now in the beginning, if you have trouble holding your breath for 81 times, start with 9 and go to 18, 36 until you build up to 81. 8 and 1 are 9. That's the most yang number, the most male number. So we want to build up to 81, okay? So for the other part, rub the hands together again. Create the chi, get the hands warm. Now, cup the scrotum again, pull the root lock, contract the penis, pull up on the scrotum, tighten the anal sphincter muscles, taking the other hand and right above the pubic bone. Again, I'm going to inhale, holding the breath. And relax. Let go of the breath. So what you're going to do is you're going to create some heat in the body. Okay, what this does, this strengthens all of this area. And to have more strength, you're strengthening actually the lower diaphragm. So when that diaphragm's strong, you pull up, do the root lock. So when you're making love, in the act of love and you feel the sensation to ejaculate, what you do is you pull, hold the breath, pull it up. Breath control is very important in making love because you can control your ejaculation. If you lose it, you're ready to go to sleep. So in the beginning, ask your woman to work with you. You're going to practice these exercises, and before you know it, you're going to have a strong, dynamic sexual power. There are some exercises for both male and female that are so important to balance our body. Now, when we're talking about sexual energy, and in this program, that's what our focus is. Why sexual energy? Sex is the key to longevity. When your sexual energy goes down, you start to get older. As long as you can stay strong sexually, you can retain your youth, your vitality, and your energy. So these exercises, they don't teach them in the West. They hardly teach them in China. They're very important exercises. So you need a few things. You're going to need a scarf. What I suggest is a piece of silk. This is a silk scarf. Oh, it's about this long. It doesn't have to be this long. It could be this long. But you're going to need one of these. And that's what you're going to need for this exercise. We're going to do a few. As you know, we have lungs, heart, liver, spleen, small intestines, large intestines, and they all sit on our genitalia. As we get older, what happens is we have a few diaphragms. We have the diaphragm here that we all know about, so when we breathe, we pull this diaphragm down, and the lungs fill up with air. We also have a lower diaphragm. If the lower diaphragm gets weak, boom, the sexual energy drops, and when that drops, all the organs start to prolapse. In other words, they start to sag down. You don't get as much oxygen in the lungs. The heart doesn't get as much oxygen and blood pumping. The liver sags, everything prolapses, and basically you're kapoofed. So if we can keep the sexual energy strong and vital, that lower diaphragm, we lift all that up, bam, and we got some energy. Let me give you a demonstration. Okay, now you're probably wondering what this is, right? This is a picture of your anus. Whoa! Okay, right in the middle. If you imagine that this is the anus, right there, right? That's what you got. And we're going to do an exercise. See these little arrows? One pointing each way. You see that? There we go. So what those little arrows represent is an exercise we're going to do. This exercise starts right down below. What you're going to do is you're going to imagine you're pulling the front, like here's your anus, and what you're going to do is right from that hole, you're going to imagine you're tightening the front of it, now tightening the back of it, tightening the side of it, tightening the other side of it, and then squeeze it in and relax it. Okay, in the beginning, isolating might be a little problem. So let's do this together. You're going to tighten your forearm on the left side. Tighten, 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 squeeze. Okay, got it? Now tighten the other forearm. Tighten, 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 squeeze. All right, now let's do the forearm and the left side of your very bottom. Okay, pull it in, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. You may want to lean to one side and relax. Tighten the forearm, tighten the right side. Tighten, 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 relax. Now, in front of you, you're going to tighten both forearms. Tighten, 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 relax. Now, tighten the forearms and the front part of your little hole in the bottom. Squeeze, 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 relax. Now the back. Okay, put your hands out by your sides, and what we're going to do is we're going to move the hands back, and we're going to do it 3 times. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And on each time, we're going to tighten, squeeze our hands, squeeze our arms. We're also going to squeeze the back part of our anus. Ready? Squeeze, 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 release. So you're starting to work that. Why? That's the lower part of the diaphragm. You don't want to be incontinent. You don't want to cough, pee in your pants. This happens to people as they get older. Why? Because the strength isn't there. They lose all that. So as we strengthen that, boom, we pull that up and we're not incontinent. You don't want to end up with pampers and poopers and floppers and loppers. You want to keep all that strong. At the same time, when you strengthen that muscle, if I lifted weights every day, I'd have a great big bicep. If you strengthen your sexual energy, you'll have all that pulled up. It'll pull up the organs. It'll keep you healthy and strong. And when you're making love with someone, you're going to have some strength and some power. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at not a poof and go to sleep. We're looking at how do we keep that energy going. Okay, here's another important exercise. There are circulations of energy, microcosmic orbit, where we're breathing in, the energy's going down the front and up the back. Okay, there's a small orbit. Starts at the navel, then right in the back here, the Ming Man point, and the perineum right on the bottom. So you imagine a ball. What can I use as a ball? You imagine, hang on, I'm going to get a ball. Here's a crystal. Okay? And what we're going to imagine is the navel point. We'll do it this way. The navel point. Come closer. Navel point. Perineum. Ming Man point. And as we breathe, we're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So we're starting to turn that ball in the inside. So do it this way. Inhale, pull in the navel. Exhale. Inhale, imagine the energy going around to your back, right at this point between the kidneys. Put your attention there, and then down to the perineum. So you're going to get the ball to start rolling. The ball rolls. You make it roll one way, and then you reverse it and roll it the other way. So as this rolls, as you get the ball rolling, that's what you're doing. You're getting the ball rolling. In other words, you're going to strengthen this whole lower genitalia area and make yourself sexually strong, vital, alive, and younger. All right. Here's an exercise all the time. I take this cloth, and you can either do naked, or you can do it with a pair, let me tuck this in, or you can do it with a pair of shorts on. Okay, right on the pubic bone, both for men and women, you're going to take this cloth, this silk, you're going to put it on the pubic bone, you're going to inhale, pull in the molbon, you know, the sexual energy. Contract the penis, lift the scrotum, tighten the anal sphincter muscle, put this right on the pubic bone, inhale, and massage. One way, exhale, release the sexual energy, inhale again, pull up, go the other way. So what you're starting to do is you're starting to relax all these muscles. You know, this is what happens a lot. Girls sit and they put their legs apart. And what does your mother say? Put your legs together. The teacher says, put your legs together. So what happens is we get all inhibited in here. And guys, they don't walk around like this. You know, in the martial arts stands, you're always pelvis forward. But in the West, like the cowboys, we tighten our ass and we tighten this and we're walking like this. So what happens is all of the sexual energy in the leg area, in the psoas muscle, it all gets closed down, and then our sexual function is boom, come. You know, and for women, urinary problems, period problems, prolapse problems, a whole mess of problems down there. These exercises relax all the muscles and open it up. So again, get your silk cloth, inhale. When you inhale, remember, inhale, tighten the anal sphincter muscle, front, back, side, side. Now, contract the penis, lift the scrotum, tighten the anal sphincter muscle, and then you begin by massaging the pubic bone. One side, release, tighten. The other side, release. Now the perineum, right on your very bottom, the same thing. You're going to take the cloth, you're going to inhale, pull up, so you imagine like you have a big plunger on the top of your head, and whoop, you're going to pull up from the bottom. Everything gets pulled up, tighten the anal sphincter muscle, pull in the penis, lift up the scrotum. Now you do the exercise. And release. Now for the women, it's the same, but a little different. You're going to do the same Molbon, Kegel exercise, they call it. You're going to pull in on the clitoris. You're going to fold in the lips. You're going to tighten the anal sphincter muscle, and the same. Your pubic bone, then the perineum, and then right at your tailbone, right at the tail. Woo! You want to keep your tail strong. You're going to massage there. When you do these points, what you do is you start to relax the muscle. As the muscles get relaxed, you become more relaxed because everything isn't so tight. It starts to relax. At the same time, you're relaxing it by massaging it, and by pulling in the energy and squeezing, you're strengthening the muscle. You get that muscle strong. In the act of making love, what happens? You're able to move. You get your pelvis moving. You get your joints moving. You get everything moving. So instead of you being sexually inhibited, you're sexually open. It's easier to have an orgasm. It's easier to be with someone because this is relaxed, and so will you be. Now, when we're doing the exercises, the sexual exercises, what we're looking at is moving the energy through the body. So the energy moves like this. You're inhaling, the energy comes down the front to the perineum. When it gets to the perineum, it goes down the back, up the front, and it's making a big figure eight. That's what the energy is doing. We'll talk about it more later on how we're going to use this energy when we're with our mate. Now, one of the exercises I learned from an Ayurvedic medicine, Pierre Pantier. He was the predecessor of Dr. Randolph Stone. Dr. Randolph Stone took Ayurvedic medicine, the medicine of India, and he combined it, or he brought it and taught it in the West. These exercises move the energy. Now, if the body goes weak in the knees, in the low back, in the heel, hair loss, it all has to do with our sexual energy, our psoas. Psoas muscle goes from right here. It's like a flank steak. And the flank steak muscle goes from the inside of your thigh, and it pulls from the inside of the thigh all the way up in here. So if you see somebody walking and their feet are out like this, you know the psoas muscle's imbalanced. When that muscle's strong, it pulls everything together. Psoas muscle rules the kidneys. The kidneys are our sexual energy. If the kidneys are down, your sexual energy's down. That's why stress plays a big factor. When men are stressed, they want to be held. When women are stressed, they don't want to be touched. So it's surprising that we get together at all. But we want to balance the stresses because the stresses affect the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are right on top of the kidneys. So if the kidneys go, we die. So when the adrenals go, we just have no energy. So when you have the adrenal glands strong, when you're happy, when you're in love, when you're playing, When you're excited, the adrenals are strong and so are the kidneys. So these exercises help promote kidney strength, sexual strength. This is an exercise that in the West we don't do. We're going to start practicing now. I'll show you how it goes. It's a simple squat. So most parts of the world, people are down like this, and this is how they have babies. This is how they go to the bathroom. This is how they eat. This is how they play cards. We don't do this in the West. You get a book, and you put the book on the floor, put your heels on the book, and now squat. You can begin like this. So see, my heels are up, putting your hands over your head, and you're starting to stretch the whole spine. So when you're doing this, the energy starts to move through the body. Okay, so I'm going to do it. You watch. Take a breath in, and you pull. You can hold this exercise from 3 to 5 minutes. Now, after you practice for a while, take one of the books out, and you start to get lower. And then eventually, you'll be able to take all the books out and just be flat on the ground. Now I'm going to show you a picture. If you notice here, the arrows are opening up the whole bottom side. Also the knees. And in the other picture, it opens up the upper back and it allows the energy to move through. When we're working our body, we're pulling down, squeezing. It allows the energy to open up through the whole body. This strengthens your body, it strengthens the spine, it lengthens the spine, and your sexual energy becomes better. It's as simple as that. As we practice, as we work these exercises, you'll see your whole body, mind, and spirit will become younger, stronger, healthier. You're going to become sexier. Your skin will feel better. It'll look better. And you'll be on top of your game. We have to remember that women are water. They're yin in nature, when man is yang in nature, fire. So what happens, if you take the fire, if you take a stick and you make it into a torch, you have this fire. And you take the fire and you put it in the water is going to put out the fire. The same thing happens in our sexual act. You're man, you're excited, boom, you put it in the fire, or you put the fire in the water, it's going to go out. But if you take the fire stick and you warm the water, and warm the water, and warm the water, what's going to happen is it's going to start to boil. And then when it boils, there's going to be steam. And where there's steam, there's energy. And that's what we're looking at in the sexual practices. So when you begin, start by looking in your mate's eyes, nothing more. Just looking in her eyes, looking in his eyes, and breathing. Bringing the breath down the front, up the back. And imagine the breath is going into them, down the front and up the back. So you start to make a circulation of energy, a figure eight pattern between both of you. So you're starting to create a bond and fuse it together. Then you hold hands very lightly. Female's hand will be on the top, man's hand will be on the bottom, holding. Then switch. One hand down, one hand up. You're still just looking in her eyes, breathing. Then slowly start touching each other's wrists. Still breathing, relaxing, staying open. You're going to connect with each other's heart. So here's a very important thing. You imagine that there's a flower in your mate's heart and a flower in your heart. And then slowly you imagine the flower opening. You allow the heart to open as the flower opens within you, and then the heart will open within them too. So the two flowers start to talk. They start to communicate and they start to open. When the hearts are open, people will be balanced and more in harmony. Again, continue the breathing down the front and up the back. Remember, eyes, hands, wrists, circulation of energy, figure eights, and this will open up the breathing, the chakras, the energetics, and then it's a form of foreplay. Before you're going to play, you're starting a process of opening and enjoying each other. Find a quiet spot, sit down, and bring your attention to the lower Dantian, about 4 fingers under the navel point. So you bring your attention there. How do you do that? You put your hand there. That's one way to bring your attention there. If you can, sit quietly with your fingers in Gama Ling. This will cool the body down. Put your hands on your lap. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And you imagine that you're pushing up with your tongue right on the roof of your mouth, the palate, and that will start to open up the crown chakra. Let your chest relax. Now, take it in a deep breath and relax. Now, when we create heat, it's in the heart. So what we want to do is we want to balance the yin and yang energy. We want to balance it with the water and the fire. The water element is the kidneys, the fire element's the heart. So you're going to use your imagination to do this. Okay. Here's how it goes. You imagine you have 2 balls, one in the heart, red in color, another one in the lower Dantian. That'll be blue in color. And what I'd like you to do is in your mind's eye, imagine the 2 are switching. So you're bringing the fire below and the water on top. Now, allow the water energy to start going down until it reaches the fire energy. Fire on bottom, water on the top, and allow the heat of the fire to start to warm the water. As the water energy warms, what will happen is it'll start to boil. As the water starts to boil, there'll be steam, and steam is energy, but this steam is a cooling steam. Allow the steam to float up, allow it to float up all the way to your head, and allow it to start to cool your brain. Allow the brain to cool, your sinuses to cool, your eyeballs. Allow your tongue to cool down, then in the throat. So there's steam coming up. As you steam the organs, what you're doing is you're making the organs juicier, more alive, filling with energy. Now steam the heart. Allow the heart energy to cool down. The lungs. Filling the lungs with a very cooling white color. A mist. Cooling, relaxing, energizing. Bring your attention down to the right side. Allow it to cool the liver. Allow it to cool the stomach and the spleen, your small intestines, and your large intestines. The steam steams your kidneys. It makes the kidneys moist, relaxed. You're filling the kidneys up with moisture. Put the steam into your muscles. steam into your bones. Allow the energy of the fire to make more heat. And as that heat happens, you allow the heat to steam and flow through every organ in the body. This steaming process will make the organs juicier, luscious, vibrant. This is a way to cool your body and steam the organs. Now we're going to be quiet for a few minutes, so just close your eyes and imagine the steam is coming up. It's steaming the intestines, it's steaming the kidneys, steaming the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, starting to steam the liver, the gallbladder, the bladder, steaming the lungs and the heart. The steam goes all the way up, and again, steaming your brain, allowing everything to be totally luscious and full of energy. Steam is energy. Just let the whole body get hydrated from the inside out, bringing more yin energy into the body, relaxing the body, relaxing and steaming the organs, allowing your mind to relax, your body to relax. Allow your spirit to just be relaxed. Now bring your attention back to the fire at the lower Tantien. What I want you to do is, again, start to move the fire back to the heart and the water back to the kidneys. Allow them to balance, balancing the yin and yang in the body. Allowing your body to relax, open, be very soft and quiet. Softness in your listening, the ears, the kidneys. Softness in the way you smell things, your lungs. Softness in your mouth, your tongue. Allow the heart to be soft and gentle. The eyes, the liver. Allow the liver to be relaxed. Let your eyes be very relaxed, very soft. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look to the left. Look to the right. Look up. Look down. Close the eyes. Open the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. The eyes are ruled by the liver. Allow the body to relax. And slowly bring your hands to your heart. Taking a deep breath, hold the breath, and relax. Inhale again. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, and move your hands in front of your chest. And as you inhale, you're going to push out. Exhale, relaxing. Now exhale and push out. Inhale and relax. Exhaling, pushing. Inhaling, relaxing. Bring your hands back to your chest. Inhaling deeply, holding the breath. Exhaling, let your hands go back to your knees, putting the hands in Gamale. Now rub your hands, slap your hands, rub them together. Touch at the third eye point, the throat, and the heart. Do that again. Third eye, throat, heart, last time. Third eye, throat, heart, and brush all the energy down. This type of medicine, this type of energy, and this type of meditation will balance the energies of fire and water in your body. It'll balance the yin and yang. Not too hot, not too cold. It's Dr. Wu. Keep on practicing.